Dr. Mac here. We have a good one for you today, man. Here, Dr. Mac, here's what we're going to do. This is Off the Plantation, the Journey Towards Freedom. Now, here's what we're going to do on this segment. We're actually going to have a discussion about why all of the hoopla about Joe Biden pardoning his son, Hunter Biden. There was a lot of hoopla about, you lied, you cheated, you manipulated, you knew you were going to pardon him. And then there's a lot of hoopla with, no, I know he said he was going to do it, but in the end he realized and he just, revised his calculus and actually did the right thing, and we should, Joe is a loving, charming, wonderful man who would never lie to us willingly and purposely. So you got these two varying things happening. And the thing is for us who want to get off the plantation, we need to know what's really going on here. So this is all about how do we discern the truth? And really what I want to bring into this conversation is the other civil rights leaders, or at least one of the other civil rights leaders that went before us. We're going to bring in Malcolm X. We're going to bring in Malcolm X because we want to understand what he understood about um, holding government and government officials accountable, and what he, thought if we don't hold them accountable, what he characterized people that don't hold government and government officials accountable for their vote. So we're going to get to that in a second. Here's the thing that I want you to do. I want you to make sure that you like, share, and make sure you subscribe to this channel. Again, this is Off the Plantation, the journey towards freedom. Because this channel is dedicated to make sure that when you make good decisions about getting off the groupthink, sort of merry-go-round, getting off the plantation with all of the other sort of collectivist ideas that come via culture, that you remain off, that you have enough resolve, that you have enough fortitude to actually solidify your freedom. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about this thing that happened. So for those of you who don't know, Joe Biden decided to go ahead and pardon his son. Now, he had been saying throughout this election cycle, and really for the past year or so, since Hunter had been charged, that there's no way. Absolutely, he emphatically said, "No, bro, no way. I'm not gonna pardon that boy. No way. That ain't me. We gonna do it. The law is the law. The DOJ is the DOJ. We have righteous and virtuous people throughout the administration and throughout the Department of Justice, and they're going to do the right thing. And Hunter's got to suffer the consequence." That's what he told us. And then, but some emails have recently come out, and they said, "Look, that around June, he knew that he was going to pardon them. People in his inner circle and his team knew that he was going to pardon them. Now, whether he actually said, 'Look, I'm going to pardon my boy, but I'm going to continue to make sure we hold the line and say these things,' or whether he really assumed that he would get that second term, and whether that really changed, I don't know to what degree the changes that have happened, and then him, ultimately giving it over to Kamala losing to Trump, what impact that had. But be that as it may, with all that's been said and done, here are the base facts about what's been done. The fact is, Hunter Biden was convicted, right? He was convicted of crimes that had a lot of evidence, unlike others who have been convicted of relatively minor things that they had really no evidence, and they're making up laws, and they're bringing laws back into fruition in order to try to charge somebody. Hunter actually did some things that were pretty heinous, and that's a fraction of what he did. I mean, there was apparently some pretty provocative, picked photos of him with, people and, all kinds of things that were not good. So here's the thing. Hunter got convicted. He is not a good guy. He got convicted with a lot of evidence. And, the bottom line, he was supposed to be sentenced this month in December 2024. And bottom line is that the, his father, Joe, says, "Look, I'm about to get out of office, and I think that if I don't pardon you, you know, you're going to do some serious time because you actually did these serious crimes." Now, as ironic as it is, you could probably say that Joe did some serious crimes too, but because of his age and his senility, the Department of Justice said we're not going to charge him with anything. But be that as it may, bottom line is Joe decided to go ahead and pardon him. Now, there were some principled, pseudo principled. I don't know if you can be a leftist, Marxist, crazy, and principled at the same time, but there were some pseudo principled leftists that said, "Look, this is wrong. Joe promised us he would not do this, and he lied to us." And then there were other leftist, Marxist folks that said, "No, no, he's doing the right thing. That's his son, and he needs to pardon him." Here, when you take a look at this whole scenario, you can kind of understand both sides, but the degree to which you could quickly go from "you better not pardon him, Joe" to "oh, Joe, you're doing the right thing. This is wonderful." This is the kind of thing that drives people who are just observers in this whole thing, drive us crazy, because we're looking at people that were, 1 week, just last week, or a week prior, were saying, "Oh no, he's not going to do this. He better not do this. He better not do this." And then the week after, "Man, I'm so glad he did it. Joe's a wonderful guy. Oh, he's just, country Joe. He's a good old boy. Of course he's going to do that. He's going to take care of his son. He's going to make sure his family stays together. He's going to make sure that, the incoming administration doesn't, abuse, the DOJ and give his son even more time, whatever the story's here." But the bottom line is they quickly change course. This is what Malcolm X would say is uh, not holding government and government officials accountable. Specifically Malcolm X, and I'm getting this from my book. So I've done a lot of research on Malcolm X, and I quote Malcolm X quite a lot in this book, Revealed, the archetypes of American politics. It actually pivots off of Malcolm X's 1963 message to the grassroots speech. But here's what Malcolm X said. He said, "Look, when we vote for people that hold so much power, and in particular he was talking about the Democrat Party. Let's say when we vote for the Democrat Party, they hold so much power, 2/3 of the government. They completely rule in the domain of academics, academia. They completely rule in the domain of media, entertainment. 80, 90+% are leftist progressives, and those specific domains or spheres or arenas of those things: academics, entertainment, media, etc. And so he says, "Look, when you have that much power, you make promises to the people that you're supposed to bring about this some sort of change when you get into office, and then when you get in office you don't do it. You're a political chump." He says you are a political chump. And he said, even worse than that, you're not only a political chump and a traitor, but you're a traitor to your own race. Now, the reason why I bring race into this is because a lot of people that I've seen, especially in the media and in mainstream media, in the black community, specifically those on The View and other shows, there seem to be the ones that will, that have been accommodating any and everything that Joe Biden has done over the past 4 years and continue to do it even in this case where he pardons his son. "Oh, Joe, no, no, Joe, he's just a good boy. Of course he's going to do this. This is what he's supposed to do, right?" Um, these people, in Malcolm X's terms, are chumps, political chumps, not thinkers, not bright. As a matter of fact, they're traitors. And they're traitors and chumps because they don't hold their elected people accountable. Now, you didn't have to go all in and say Joe's a good guy and he should have done that. You could have said, "Look, Joe," like every other objective person would say, "Is Joe, he was manipulating and deceiving us for a period of time until it was clear to him that he couldn't actually get his son off." I mean, I knew, way early on that he was going to pardon him. Come hell or high water, he's going to pardon his son. But and so those of us who are thinking and clearly observing and that we, you know, we we would expect that others, even if you are a diehard progressive leftist Marxist crazy, you could say, look, bottom line is, um, being clear eyed about this, Joe lied and he manipulated and deceived us. I understand in hindsight why he's doing it, but Joe's not right. You know what I mean? So in other words, you're not excusing him. You're not going on and just towing the line just because I'm a Democrat and I got to be a good Democrat. I just got to make sure to muscle up and just say, hey, no, it's all right. What he did is principled. No, what he's done is horrible, and it really undermines a lot of the principles about pardoning, and especially pardoning those who have done heinous crimes. And so, but of course, when Joe has that power, and that his son is coming up, you can expect that he would do that. But you don't excuse it. You actually call it out. And so the people on View and people on so many of these other shows, CNN and all these that are saying no, Joe is just great. He's a great guy. He did the right thing. These people are chumps, political chumps, and traitors, and they're traitors to Americans, all Americans. And so that's what Malcolm X would call them, and that is the perfect characterization that we should all call them: political chumps, traitors. If you want to excuse everything and anything your party does, or your party, figurehead like Joe Biden, for instance, if he's the figurehead of your party, and you excuse whatever he does, whatever he says, wherever he goes, however he goes, you don't hold him accountable for anything. He can lie, cheat, steal. He can do whatever he want to do. You're a political chump. That's what it is. Malcolm X called it out a long time ago, and it still rings true. Ironically, we haven't made much progress with the Democrat Party, baby. All right, so I just wanted you guys to know that that's where we are with what's happening here with Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and the Democrat Party generally. Um, if you can be at least logical, rational, prudent, thoughtful, even though you are voting, Marxist crazy, but if you can at least be thoughtful at the same time, then let's at least have hold people accountable for their actions. And when they do wrong, just call out, hey man, I was jacked up. You promised you wouldn't do it. Yeah, it's fine, no problem. I hope this helps. I hope this brings a certain level of rationality. You're not going crazy. What you're seeing is crazy. God bless you. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Dr. Mack here, off the plantation, the journey towards freedom. Join me next time. Make sure you subscribe. All right? God bless.